Thursday morning to you. I'm Heather Brown. Thanks so much for joining us here on CBSN, Minnesota's Morning Update. We are just going to get you up to speed on the latest news and weather. Still a cold day. Riley tells us that the high is going to be 44. The sun will be shining. That wind is gone, but we have a lot to look forward to coming up this weekend as we slowly tick our way up to those 70s, which means this real sign of spring is on the way, happening today, opening day for baseball. Let's take a look inside the newly named American Family Field. You remember Miller Field? No longer named Miller Park now. The roof is going to be closed today in Milwaukee as the Twins take on the Brewers. It's going to be cold there as well. A little too cold for those baseball hands. It will be sunny though. The temps 110 start in Milwaukee. It feels really good to have baseball back, right? And now fans can go. Not as many fans can go this year, but we can still go. And by the time they make it back here to Target Field, let's hope it's a little bit warmer. So are you excited about the return to baseball? We would love to hear it. We'd love to hear about these first signs of spring, maybe some of the first things that you're excited to do. Might you be going to a Twins game? Post a comment right there on Facebook and we'll read through a couple of those coming up in just a moment. It is day 4 of witness testimony in the Derek Chauvin trial. This comes after emotional testimony yesterday, where several witnesses expressed their grief and guilt following George Floyd's deadly arrest. For the first time, jurors saw the initial interactions between George Floyd and Minneapolis police. Now today, prosecutors are expected to question investigators about the technical aspects of the case. The Wisconsin Supreme Court has struck down the state's mask mandate. They're saying that Governor Tony Evers did issue it illegally, and reactions from Wisconsinites appear to be mixed.
If you're scared to get it, don't go out, but don't ruin it for the rest of us.
The court is not a very good place to be giving medical advice.
So Minnesota is now the only state in our region that requires masks statewide. Our health department says the precautions are still important because COVID cases are continuing to rise. So millions of those hard-to-get COVID shots, this is too bad. They're never going to end up in people's arms. Johnson & Johnson said that a batch of their shots failed to meet their quality standards, so they had to throw them away. Now, the drug maker isn't saying how many doses were ruined, but several media organizations report that number to be close to 15 million. Johnson & Johnson traced the problem back to an ingredient mix-up at a manufacturing plant. It's unclear at this point if that might impact deliveries that are coming here to Minnesota or perhaps to Wisconsin. Another Minnesota craft beverage producer is taking some of its business over the border. Liftbridge Brewing announced that it will add a tap room and brewery space in New Richmond, Wisconsin. So they're based in Stillwater, but they say that taking advantage of the opportunities and laws in Wisconsin, their words. Minnesota's restrictive liquor laws limit sales and brewers for distillers. And you may remember earlier this month, Tattersall Distilling announced that they were building a distillery in River Falls, Wisconsin. They said for the same reasons there. In other beer news, Surly Beer Hall and Garden announced that they would tentatively reopen on June 1st. Now they say that the reason is, quote, the remarkable progress that's being made on the vaccination front in Minnesota. Now Surly did mention the date could change based on public health guidelines. The third largest employer in downtown Minneapolis is planning a return to the office. This is supposed to happen in early September. Wells Fargo said its 7,000 workers will be back in the office after Labor Day. They did base that decision on increased COVID vaccinations. That empty middle seat, the ones on the Delta flights that had remained open for so long, sorry. They're not going to be empty for too much longer. The airline once again will start selling every seat on their flights. They expect this to start back up on May 1st. That does include the middle seats, which have been blocked for about a year, you know, to keep those flyers spaced out. Most other airlines, though, they'd already made the change. The idea is to get more people back onto their planes. So she's already made her name for herself in the women's NCAA tournament, but now she is making history. The Associated Press named UConn's Paige Beckers the first ever freshman player of the year. Go Paige. Former Hopkins alum heading into the Final Four with UConn. They do face Arizona on Friday night. All right, let's head back to today's talker. We want to hear everything you're thinking about spring, what you're thinking about Twins baseball. Suzanne says, I heart baseball a lot, so this has got to be a good day for Suzanne out there and all those Twins fans out there who are going to be watching the game against Milwaukee. Go Twins! You got it, Nancy. Absolutely right. You know, they go Twins, says Kimberly, too. I think we're probably today going to get just a lot of go Twins out there. Everyone's excited for this season opener, Brian and Mary Jo, of course, too. Excited for the season opener, but what we're really excited for is the home opener. Let's get our team back here, back into Target Field. Becca wants them back so we can go see them. Baseball in April. You just put on the scarves, you put on the hat, you put on the gloves. No place better to watch a ball game than Target Field. Thanks, everybody, for commenting on our Facebook page. That is your morning update from CBSN Minnesota. We are your only local streaming news source. Find us at any of your devices by downloading that CBS News app. Until then, go to WCCO.com and go Twins.